So today we are going to start in the Sunday Gita class of 31st July 2022. We are trying to complete Raja Guhya Yoga, which means the most confidential knowledge. But before we do Raja Guhya knowledge, let us read some stories of Krishna. Okay? So
Ma'am,
yes. Yes, Misha.
ma'am, Vihan is not here because he gone to somewhere because he's not well.
Oh, okay. I hope he'll be there.
And Shaurya is also not well.
Oh my goodness, everybody is falling sick. So last class, doesn't matter, Misha, you can tell Vihan what we have learned. Okay. And if I remember, I'll also share the YouTube link.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
this is, yeah. So in chapter 16, last chapter, if you remember Krishna's story, we did the story when Krishna as a little boy was drinking milk from his mother, and she put her down when the milk was boiling, and because he got angry, he dropped the milk, and then he broke the pot of butter and he shared it with all the monkeys and cats. And Yashoda comes, she gets very angry, she wants to punish him, she wants to tie him to the okli, that grinding one.
Yes.
You remember? And then
That tree was broken and that
yes,
two
Yakshas
Vedas have. Yes.
the two yakshas came out. They are the sons of Kubera. They were cursed many years ago. 100 years ago, they were cursed by Narada because they were behaving very rudely. They were having fun with all ladies and all in the water, and they did not respect Narada. So Narada cursed them. But actually, it was not a curse, it was a blessing because they are so rich and they were enjoying and they forgot to respect the sage in their enjoyment, and they did not realize that that is not true enjoyment. So when they became trees and they were cursed after 100 years, when they saw Krishna, they were liberated. So it was actually a blessing for them. You remember the story, no, all of you? So after that story, what happens is there's this journey to Vrindavan chapter. And before that, we'll just see how Krishna sees a fruit vendor. So we can start in my screen. Maithili is on top. So Maithili, can you start reading the story one day?
Yes, ma'am. One day, a fruit vendor came before the house of Nanda Maharaja. Upon hearing the vendor called, "If anyone wants fruits, please come and take them from me." Child Krishna immediately took some grains in his palms and went to get fruits. In those days, exchanging was the batter. Batter. Therefore, Krishna might have seen his parents acquire fruits and other things by battering grain, and he saw immediate, but his palms were very small. He was not very careful to hold the grains tight. He was dropping them. The vendor who came to sell fruit was very much captivated by a beauty of a lord. So she immediately accepted whatever few grains were left in his palms, filled his hands and with fruit. The meantime, the vendor saw that her whole basket of fruits had become into fields with jewelries. The Lord has bestowed of all benedictions, if some give something to the Lord. He is not the loser. He is the gainer by million times.
Gainer by the million times. So in this story, what do we see? Krishna has seen his parents, when they want to buy something, they don't have money in those days. They will give something and take it in return. So he has seen that they would give, his parents would give grains, and in exchange, that's called barter system. In exchange, they would get something. So Krishna wanted some fruits from the vendor. Vendor means somebody who goes from house to house and sells things. So what did the little Krishna do? He took some grains in his hand. His hands are so tiny and there are all gaps. And so when he was walking with the grains was falling from between his hands. And by the time he reached near her, there were only little grains left in her hand, in his hand. But then the vendor, the lady who was selling the fruits, was so captivated by the beauty of Krishna, because Krishna is a Lord. He is so beautiful. So she was just looking at him, and she was so captivated and enjoying how beautiful Krishna is looking. She just took those little grains, put it in her basket, and gave all her fruits to Krishna. Take all my fruits. And but what happened after some time, when she opened her bag, she saw that the little grains which Krishna had given had turned into jewels. And so that is why here was saying that the Lord, that is Krishna, actually gives all blessings. If we give something to the Lord, we will never be the loser, because instead we'll be a gainer by a million times. So this story is telling us how when we give something, even little, to Krishna, we give our love. With our love, we give something to Krishna. Krishna will give us so many times back in return. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Maithili. Now, Arav, can you continue reading from here? One day. Arav?
Yeah, sir.
One day, Lord Krishna. Read from there, no, Arav?
Yeah. One day, Lord Krishna, the liberator of the twin Marut Arjuna trees, was playing with Balrama and the other children on the bank of the Yamuna. And because it was already late in the morning, Rohini, the mother of Balram, went to call them back home. But Balrama and Krishna were so engrossed in playing with their friends that they did not wish to go back. They just engaged themselves in playing more and more. When Rohini was unable to take them back home, she went home and sent Mother Yasoda to call them again. She addressed Balrama thus: My dear Rama, the glory of your family, my dear child, please come back with your younger brother, Krishna, immediately. You have been engaged in playing since early morning and you must be very tired. Please come back and take your lunch at home. Your father, Nandraj, is waiting for you. He has to eat, so you must come back so that he can eat.
Okay, read some more. Read the next two paragraphs also, Arav.
As soon as Krishna and Balram heard that Nand Maharaj is waiting for them and could not take his food in their absence, they started to return. Their playmates complained. Krishna is leaving us just at the point when our playing is at the summit. Next time we shall not allow him to leave. His playmates then threatened not to allow him to play them with them again. Krishna became afraid, and instead of going back home, he went back again to play with the boys. At that time, Mother Yashoda scolded the children and told Krishna, My dear Krishna, do you think that you are a street boy? You have no home. Please come back to your home. I see that your body has become very dirty from playing since early morning. Now come home and take your bath. Besides, today is your ceremony. Birthday ceremony. Therefore, you should come back home and give cows in charity to the Brahmins. Don't you see how your playmates are decorated with ornaments by their mothers? You should also be cleansed and decorated with nice dress and ornaments. Please, therefore, come back. Take your bath, dress yourself nicely, and you and then again you may go on playing.
Yes, thank you, Arav. So you can see here, Krishna's birthday is soon going to come. All of you know when Janmashtami is going to come? In another 3 weeks, the third
Yes,
weekend from
ma'am.
now, it's going to be Krishna's birthday. And remember in Janmashtami, we used to do Gita shlokas when I was there at Satpura. Remember that? It used to be nice. Many of you used to learn some nice.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I become the Radha also.
Yes, you have done some nice videos and so beautiful. It was COVID at that time. Yeah. So now it is Krishna's birthday and Mother Yashoda is calling them and again, but they want to keep on playing. So let's have Anushka, are you there? Could you read a little bit from this in this way, Mother?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
In this way, Mother Yashoda called back Lord Krishna and Balram, who were worshipable by the great demigods like Lord Buddha and Lord Shiva.
Brahma.
She was thinking of them as her children. When Mother Yashoda children, Krishna and Balram came home, she bathed them very nicely and dressed them with ornaments. Then she called for the Brahmins, and through her children she gave many cows in charity for the occasion of Krishna's birthday. In this way, she performed the birthday ceremony of the Krishna at home. The evening, the senior citizens of Gokul assembled at the Nandagopala's place. The main agenda of meeting the month was the occurrence of many strange things in Gokul in ways and means to face unknown danger. Many solutions were suggested. Ultimately, the opinion of Utpanda, the oldest Gopa, was approved by all. According to him, Gokul had become unsuitable for the continued stay for the Gopas. There was a place named Vrindavan, not far away. The place had got its name as it was protected by goddess Vrinda. Vrinda also means Tulsi, the sacred basil. Thus, it can also be assumed that there were a lot of Tulsi plants there. Anyway, Vrindavan was the most picturesque place, blessed with the mountain by name Govardhan on one side and river Kalandi, that is Jamuna, on the other. Govardhan was full of trees and grass, and Kalandi was full of water in all seasons. The meadows between Govardhan and Kalandi were the most suitable for the cows. Thus, Upanda joined the whole community, could shift the Vrindavan and settle there.
Yeah, thank you, Anushka. So it's very, this is a very important step in Krishna's life when the whole city, Gokul's main adults, they get together, they have a meeting. Now the birthday celebration was over, and then soon after we are having them being shifted to the whole township is going to shift. All the people are going to shift to Vrindavan because so many bad things were happening in Gokul, right? So all the demons were coming, and every time there were problems. So this senior most Gopa, Upananda, he says that let's shift to Vrindavan. Vrindavan is between Govardhan and river Kalandi, and most of Krishna's remaining leelas will be over there. Misha, can you read from preparations for the resettlement? They're going to resettle from Gokul. They're all shifting to Vrindavan.
Okay, ma'am. Preparation for the resettlement began the next day itself. All things, including materials for making tents, we packed and put in carts. The young and the old man, and woman, all set out joyously. Only
On
the
the journey,
on the journey to Vrindavan, they proceed slowly with their castle walking in front, jingling their bells. Krishna sitting on Yashoda's lap and Balarama on
Balarama.
Rohini's enjoyed the journey thoroughly. Before evening, the caravan
1 minute. Yeah.
caravan
Caravan.
reached Vrindavan. Man briskly made tents for the night set. woman could fool. Everyone took a refreshing bath in the
Invigorating.
invigorating water of the Yamuna. After dinner, the Gopas and Gopis, all their children, retired for the night.
Yeah.
Early next morning, they set out to inspect and enjoy the surroundings.
Finish that paragraph, Misha.
Okay, ma'am. The place was beautiful to stay. At the least, Govardhan was simply match estate full of different spices of
and herbs.
shrubs and trees. Some were laden with beautiful blossoms, other with sweet fruits. Climbers would around May trees, and in some places they hang down freely to form natural swings. Rabbits and deers ran here and there. Cockatoos
Cuckoos.
cuckoos sang
Melodious.
melodiously, and peacocks danced beautifully.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Misha.
ma'am.
Yeah. So here we have the beautiful picture of Vrindavan. You know, they say that Vrindavan is a reflection of the real where Krishna stays, no, the Golok Vrindavan. It's like a reflection of that. So in those days, Vrindavan was so beautiful, you know, with trees full of flowers, and there were natural climbers making julas, you know, swings, natural swings, rabbit, deer, birds are chirping. It was very beautiful. Okay, so that's been described over here. Maitri, can you read the last part? We'll just read the last two paragraphs and we'll go back to chapter 9. Flocks of swan. Maitri, just finish the last part and then let's go to chapter 9. Finishing.
Flocks of swam gracefully among the lotus blooms at the edges of Yamuna. Nandagopa and his tribe could not have found a better place to settle down. They selected a large half-moon shaped area in the center of the place. They enjoyed every moment of their stay in beautiful Vrindavan. Their castle felt as happily as their masters, grazing contentedly,
Savoring.
savoring the tender of the fresh green grass in the meadows.
Yeah, thank you, Maithili. So even now, you know, in between, Vrindavan's beauty was lost. It had become a little dirty and all that. But again, after Prabhupada started, you know, making it better, after Prabhupada propagated the Krishna consciousness movement, what happened is that it became so beautiful. Now, if you go to Vrindavan, it is again very beautiful. If you all get a chance to go to Vrindavan, and if you have been to Vrindavan, Nisha, Arav, Maitli, Anushka, you've gone to Vrindavan?
No, ma'am.
No. If ever you get a chance in your life, you must try and go. Okay?
I have went to Vrindavan.
Oh, you went to Vrindavan, Arav? Very nice. Just a minute. Hello? Yeah, I'm in a class. Please call back later. All right. So now let us go to chapter 9. That's why I wanted to tell you about Vrindavan. Today it is again made very beautiful because of Prabhupada's efforts. You know, we have beautiful temple over there. The ISKCON temple is really nice. So what do you remember about Vrindavan that you went to, Arav, and when did you go?
Well, I think when I was very small.
Okay. So when you grow up once more, you can try and go. Okay. So it's nice when you go to these holy places. What happens is, you know, our mind is full thinking of the Lord, and we are, you know, in a transcendental place. The whole place is actually transcendental because all the people in Vrindavan are always thinking of Krishna, or something related to Krishna is there everywhere. So it's very easy to think of Krishna when you're in Vrindavan or any of such holy places. Okay, so chapter 9, I finished the first two descriptions last class, where I explained to you how Krishna says why this knowledge is so secret, to whom he can say, one who is non-envious, one who has no feeling that, oh, why is Krishna the Lord? Why is he enjoying? Such feelings don't come in his mind. You're surrendered, you accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality. Such a person can understand Gita. And then Krishna also says that he is there in the whole world, but he's not attached to it. Nothing will attach, will make Krishna. Maya has no effect on Krishna. So here Krishna says that how will you, the first step is to understand who you are. He says that you are the soul. And he says that once you understand that, look at the green one, how to get Krishna. First is to understand yourself by practicing devotional service in the association of advanced devotees. If you are doing the different devotional services like giving patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam, or just doing kirtan, anything you do with people who are true devotees, with bhakti they are doing, you just be with them also. That is one way to get Krishna. Second is example they have given us, you just chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, also you get Krishna. And you get purified also. All your past sins, everything gets washed off if you're able to do that. What is the qualification needed to be Krishna conscious? Who can get Krishna consciousness? Any idea? Ritika, Hare Krishna, good to see you join. So today, Ritika, I just said the story of Krishna related to how the whole Krishna's clan, they all shift to Vrindavan. And then I said the story of how, Krishna took some small grains and gave it to fruit vendor. And she gave all her fruits because Krishna was looking so enchanting. And in return, those small grains, it turned to whole, her bag became full of jewels. So that those are stories which I said today. Okay, Ritika. So you can see the YouTube video later if you want. But I was just saying the story. Now I'm just starting with the chapter 9 one more time. And today I want to finish it. So please join the meeting, the second meeting again. So here we have, what is the qualification? Ritika, can you see? Can you read that? Can you read that? What is the qualification?
Advancement in advancement is of previous education or qualification.
Yeah, irrespective means there is no need for any qualification or education as such to become a bhakt of Krishna. You don't need anything. You just need to have love for Krishna. All right. So, but like how we saw in today's story, some people will say, oh, Krishna is just an ordinary human form, and people are just thinking or imagining that he's Krishna and all that. So, Krishna is saying in the Gita that in the Gita chapter 9, text 11, in one of the secrets, he's telling all the readers that it is fools who deride me when I descend in the human form. People think of him as a human being. What kind of people are they? They are fools because they don't have the knowledge. They do not know that Krishna has a transcendental nature and that he was actually a supreme Lord who had come on the earth. But you're not able to believe or understand that. You read the scriptures, still some people who are fools, they're unable to even understand that. And why? In text 12, he says that such people who are bewildered, they get attracted to demoniac and atheistic views. So their views become demoniac. That is, they have a Rakshas mentality because they don't feel that I'm a soul, that I actually have to, I have duties and I have to come back and the soul is forever. They just want to enjoy now. And so they don't want to believe Krishna. They don't want to believe that I'm the soul. They just want to enjoy this moment, their sensual pleasures, because that becomes easier for them. They don't see that it is, going to all end. Their temporary joys. They forget that they are, basically that's why Krishna calls them fools. So in that deluded condition, such a person who is deluded, their hope for liberation from this materialistic world. In the Gita, children, Krishna is again and again talking about this material world, because he wants us to know that there is another transcendental world and we can go there. We are trapped in the bodies. We can go there. That's what he's trying to tell all of us. So he's saying that, but if you're bewildered by atheistic views, you cannot understand that Krishna is God, then such a person, he has no hope for liberation. Their fruitive activities, their culture of knowledge, will all be defeated. So he's saying that what is the fate of those who are bewildered, who cannot understand Krishna, or who disrespect Krishna? What is the fate of them? They are attracted by demoniac and atheistic views, and their hope for liberation and culture of knowledge get defeated. This is the secret which many people cannot accept. That's why they cannot read the Gita, because they cannot accept this truth which Krishna says in the Gita. But who is a Mahatman? Who is a person who is a Mahan? He says, Mahatmanas tumam partha daivim prakritim ashrita bhajantyananya manaso nyatva bhutadimavvyayam. So he says that, O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, who are not deluded by their desires and their want for material happiness all the time, if they're not deluded by that, they are great souls because they get protection of the divine nature. They become fully engaged. It doesn't mean they have to do puja the whole day. Whatever they are doing, I am teaching you now. After some time, I'll prepare my lesson plan for my classes. I'm a teacher, so I have to prepare my lessons. I'll be doing all that, but every time I'll remember that, Krishna, I am doing this for you. Help me to do the right thing for my students when I teach the school. Monday school will open, I have to go. So I'm always thinking that let me do everything for Krishna properly. So that is when you get fully engaged in devotional service. You all are students. You go to school. Let me listen to the class nicely. Let me understand my things properly. Let me do my homework properly. Let me make my parents proud of me. Those things you will be doing, all the normal things. But in your mind, you are always able to think of Krishna, because that will help you not to have, run after the materialistic desires, which will always bring you sorrow. Okay. So in the 9.13, can you read it again? This time, Araf, can you read this? 9.13 again?
Yes, ma'am. O son of
Pritha.
Pratha, O son of Pratha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the original and inexhaustible Bhagavad Gita.
9.13. Yeah, this is from Bhagavad Gita. Thank you, Arav. So that is what he's saying in 9.13, that those who are not deluded, they are always engaged in devotional service and they are protected. They don't have any worries because they feel protected by God all the time. So they never have worries. You'll see them always calm and happy. So in chapter 9 in the 14th verse of chapter 9, this is a very important verse. This is, if you look at this, I think this is a verse. Not this, I think the next one. Okay, he says, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham, that comes a little later. So here Krishna is saying that the Mahatma, such a great person, cannot be manufactured by rubber stamping an ordinary man. His symptoms are described here. He may look like an ordinary man, but he is a Mahatma. Well, how will he be? He will be always chanting. He has no other business. Whatever he's doing in his mind, he's always chanting. He's always glorifying God. Oh God, it's because of you. Something bad happens to him. Oh God, it's because of you. Something good happens. Thank you, God, it's because of you. So he's always like that. He's not an impersonalist. Impersonalist means people who don't believe that Krishna, the person, the original person who created the world, is a person. He's there. They can't believe that. They think there's energy. Impersonalist means someone who thinks that God is just an energy. So they are just looking at the sunlight or the sun and they think that is only God. There is no other God. And such a person is not like the Mahatma who actually understands the Supreme Lord. He's praising his name, his eternal form, his qualities, all these leelas which Krishna does, Rama does. He's enjoying that. He's doing kirtan, bhajan. And on his mind, whichever religion, he's praising and glorifying the God in different ways. So that kind of a Mahatma is attached to the Supreme Personality of God. So he doesn't make mistakes because he is not doing anything with selfish desire. He's not thinking that this is mine, I want more. So all such, low feelings of desire will make you do the wrong things. But if you are devoted to Krishna, you will always do the right things because you are not doing it for any selfish reason. You are devotee of God. Okay, and in text 15 and 16, Krishna says that others, not some other people. Now he's talking about different kinds of worshippers. He says some other people, they will be doing sacrifice by the knowledge, by the cultivation of knowledge. They worship the Supreme Lord as one without second, as diverse in many and in the universal form. But it is I who am the ritual. Some people will do, yagyas, they will do different other forms of worship. But in a yagya, Krishna says that I am only the ritual, I am only the sacrifice. Whatever offering you're doing to your ancestors, I am only that. I am the healing herb, whatever tulsi and all you're using. The transcendental chant, mantra japte hain. They do mantra in the Vedic rituals in homas and all. You do homas in your house in temples. Even the chant is Krishna, the butter is Krishna, the fire is Krishna, the offering is Krishna, everything is Krishna. Okay, so some people don't see that. They only do it for their own personal gains. And in 9.17, Krishna is saying the secret that I am actually the father of the whole universe. I am also the mother. I am the support. I am the grandsire. I am the object of knowledge, of all knowledge. I am the purifier. I am Om. I am the Rig, Samaveda, and Yajurveda. All these things, it is actually me only. So you're able to see Krishna in everything and everyone once you read the Gita. So Krishna is saying, I am the goal, the sustainer, the master, the witness, the refuge, the dear friend. I am creation, I am annihilation, and the basis of everything, the resting place, and the eternal seed. And then Krishna is saying that, here again, he makes it very clear. He says that all the different energies diffuses heat and light through the agency of electricity and sun. So during summer season, it is Krishna who will stop the rain from falling. And then during the rainy season, it is Krishna who will bring the torrents of rain and the energy which sustains us by prolonging our life. Every day, morning you get up, you thank God, okay, today I'm alive. So many people die in their sleep, young or old, it's not about age. They can lose their life anytime. Krishna is the one who will take us and meet us with our death. Krishna is the one who keeps us alive. Krishna is the matter and spirit. In the advanced stage of Krishna consciousness, therefore, a person becomes someone who doesn't see distinction in anything. He is able to see Krishna in everything and therefore he becomes in harmony. Are you understanding? Or am I speaking too fast or is it boring? Maitri, are you understanding what I'm saying? Yeah? Misha, you're understanding these shlokas? They're a little bit difficult to understand sometimes. But you're understanding, Misha? Hello, Misha. Okay, Ritika, is
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Ritika, for the thumbs up. Anushka, I hope you're also understanding. Okay, if the meeting gets over, come back. Okay, we'll finish the chapter 9 today. Now, this is again a very important. Yeah, thank you for the thumbs up, Anushka. So, in this shloka 9.20 and 9.21 are very important to understand that some people who pray to different other gods, okay, even 23, he'll say that, who pray to Saraswati for knowledge or Ganesha to clear the obstacles, all that is fine. We respect all the gods. But here Krishna is saying that sometimes there are some people who are doing this for their own, they want to go to higher planets. They want to go to heavens. In fact, there are many religions which only talk about go to heaven, go to heaven. But here Krishna is explaining, unfortunately, can I have someone read this? Ritika, can you read from unfortunately this part?
Yes, ma'am. Unfortunately, those who are simply official students of the Vedas become more interested in offering sacrifices to the different demigods like Indra and Chandra. By such endeavor, the worshippers of the different demigods are elevated to the higher planetary systems. Once situated on those higher planetary systems, one can satisfy his senses hundreds of thousands of times better than one on this planet.
Yeah. And then in 9.21, Krishna is saying that, so, when you go on wanting more and more sensual pleasure and you want to satisfy your senses, then Krishna will give them allow them to go to higher planetary systems. So Krishna is saying that in the material world also, more than the earth, there are very higher planetary systems where you can enjoy sensual pleasure hundreds of thousands of times better than with this body on this earth. But what will happen after you enjoy that heavenly sensual pleasure? Again, you have to come back to the mortal planet and again you have to go through and earn for the further going up or going down, either sins, good deeds or bad deeds. So it is temporary. That's what Krishna is trying to say for those people. So this is a very secret knowledge, and if you can understand this, the whole world will be looking so different if you can understand this knowledge in chapter 9. So in this is a one important one. I said, children, the meeting will be over just now. Yoga Kshemam Mahamyaham. If you have seen the logo of